Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second episode of the Gametroller podcast. So, as you can see from the title, in this video, we're going to be talking about the DC Cinematic Universe, or the DC Extended Universe, or the DCCU for short. So, pretty much in this, I'm going to be talking about the entire, confirmed one, giving my thoughts on how they'll be like, those plots and stuff, as well as just overall thoughts on what is gonna happen, and also how I think it should go at some point, like once all the confirmed movies are out, or like, if there are any unconfirmed movies, or like any ideas I could add to it. You'll see. So, of course, the DC Extended, aka Cinematic Universe, first installment. Well, I'm just gonna list out all the installments. First off, let me just read something real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so, all the movies, pretty much all the confirmed movies, include Man of Steel, which came out in 2013, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, which will come out in like 10 days from now. Well, worldwide 10 days. People are gonna get to see it on Monday, which is in like 6 days. Then Suicide Squad, which is in August this year. Wonder Woman, which is in June next year, along with Justice League Part 1, which is in November of next year as well. The Flash in March of 2018. Aquaman in 2018 as well, July 2018. Shazam, April 2019. Justice League Part 2, which is in June 2019. And then Cyborg in 2020, April. And Green Lantern Corps in 2020. So those are pretty much all the movies, confirmed movies at least, in the DC Cinematic Universe. Of course, the only one that's come out already being Man of Steel. I'm going to be talking about that right now. Of course, the first one, which makes sense since it's the origin story and like first adventure, I guess you could say, of Superman, the main guy in the DC universe. So, got panned by critics and most people. Like I saw this. I saw it after it came out on Stars, whatever. I barely remember it. I will say I barely remember the entire movie. I saw like the first part when they're in Krypton. Barely remember that. All I remember is the important parts. I know the general overview of the movie, but I can't really remember the actual like specifics and stuff, like what happened throughout the movie. It was like it's 2 hours 23 minutes according to Wikipedia. As I said, barely remember the specifics or just how it really was. I can remember like various scenes of the movie, but I can't really remember the voices or anything like that. I just read the actual plot of it on Wikipedia, just to refresh my memory before this before this video. I'm pretty just gonna tell you the synopsis of Man of Steel. So pretty much at the beginning of the movie, it's that sort of like what's going on Krypton. Krypton is gonna pretty much explode because its core is unstable because essentially they're doing an Earth and stealing all the natural resources from it. Of course, this upset the military commander, General Zod, and made him do a coup d'etat on the council. There's a coup d'etat and try and control the place and do stuff. I don't really know. Of course, Jor-El and Lara, his wife, celebrate Kal-El, aka Superman's birth and stuff. before trying to send him away from Krypton via spacecraft and stuff. Apparently, he doesn't just naturally get his powers like just through being on Earth and being a Kryptonian. Apparently, he had to get some codex injected into him in order to get his powers on Earth. From what Wikipedia is telling me, so he got infused with a genetic codex of the entire Kryptonian race and put him on a spacecraft to Earth. Zarel, uh, Jor-El died fighting Zod, and of course Zod and his cronies were sent to the Phantom Zone, but because of the explosion of Krypton, they got freed. I don't really know why. Of course, basic Superman origins. He's sent to Smallville, gets found by and adopted by John and Martha Kent, and of course they name him Clark, so Clark Kent. Yeah, because he was Kryptonian, he gets superhuman powers, aka Superman powers, and does stuff, and eventually he saves people from a bus, a school bus. He's in the school bus or something, and save people from it. After it crashes and stuff, John is like, "No, hide your powers." And one part that I cannot remember for the life of me, like only because I read it on Wikipedia, I can remember. Apparently, John died in a tornado, and like this mentally scarred, emotionally scarred Clark because he couldn't save John because John was like, "Don't save me," whatever. So he went into exile, I guess, from um, Smallville, going around the world, saving people, doing stuff, saving people, doing pretty much what he wants to do, trying to cope with the loss of John. And eventually he goes to Antarctica because I guess that's what you do when you're a nomad. Well, the Arctic, not Antarctica, and essentially finds the Fortress of Solitude, which is actually a U.S. military, the U.S. military investigating a Kryptonian scout spaceship. He enters in the ship and stuff, and then finds a he uses a control key that he got from his spacecraft back when he appeared on back when he crashed on Smallville. There was a control key apparently from that ship. He got that control key, used it on this ship in the Arctic, and apparently there was a preserved consciousness of Jor-El, aka hologram of Jor-El, that told him all about how he's Kryptonian stuff and about his powers and how Krypton exploded, that kind of stuff. And whilst he's doing all this, of course, Lois, for some reason, has to pop up, doing investigation, trying to write a story on this thing, on the scout spaceship. She's saved by Clark, whilst, like, apparently there's some security measures or something on the ship, and nearly kills her, but she's eventually saved by Clark, and she wants to write a story on Clark because, well, he's Superman. He's Superman, I guess. He wants to write a story on him. Clark eventually tells her about his story, and due to it being so sad, she decided not to reveal his secret. And, well, um, doing a bit of 60s Batman. Zod. Yeah, Zod and his cronies doing stuff, trying to find colonies of Krypton's colonies. Eventually, um, find a distress signal, pick up a distress signal of Clark's ship on Earth, and of course they track it back to Earth and do the whole Zod Kryptonian thing, and decide and demand that humans surrender because they're stronger and better and blah blah blah. Essentially, doing a all-star Superman, and eventually decide to terraform the Earth, and also actually read that wrong. Zod demanded that the Earth, that's very specific, surrender Clark to uh, to them because he has the Codex, which I don't know why, but he wants the Codex. um, as I said, barely remember the He wants to the Codex for some reason. Of course, military hand him and Lois over because I think they got um, kidnapped or arrested or something like that. I don't know, by the military through the Fortress of Solitude. And I guess they got discovered or something. Um, Before this, Lois was trying to give her like story to Perry White, but Perry's like, no, you're hopped up on something. There's no way this guy exists. Blah blah blah. And then of course, going back to when they're doing that thing, um, Clark and Lois are um arrested by Featurette, who's Zod's second in command, and Zod reveals his intention to use a terraforming world engine to transform Earth into a new Krypton, eradicating the human race in the process, and using the Codex that Clark has to repopulate Earth with Kryptonian clones, I guess, or genetically engineered Kryptonians. Um, Clark and Lois escape with Jor-El's help, aka Hologram. um, and of course, Clark and Clark fights Flora and a bunch of and another Kryptonian that's apparently unnamed. And the military through that finds out that Clark is on their side. Eventually, Zod deploys the world engine and starts the process in Metropolis and over the southern Indian Ocean, aka in the south of India, which increases Earth's mass and atmosphere. Apparently, at some point, the U.S. military starts calling Clark Superman, and he eventually destroys the world engine. Then the military crashes Clark's spacecraft into Zod's ship, which I don't know how this happens. This is what was written on Wikipedia. Apparently, crashing Clark's ship into Zod's ship sends it back to the Phantom Zone. I have no idea. And apparently everybody else is sent back into the Phantom Zone along with the ship. Of course, Zod survives and is mad and fights with Clark, and Clark essentially beats his butt all across Metropolis, and destroys half of the city as well. And uh, eventually, once he's about to kill a bunch of innocent civilians. Clark decides to has the executive's decision of just snapping the guy's neck and saving those innocent civilians from Zod's eye beams. And that's essentially the end. Of course, after that, the U.S. government supports Superman, and Clark creates his identity by becoming a journalist in the Daily Planet in order to get places, basically. That's essentially Man of Steel, the entire Man of Steel movie. Pretty basic. Like, that's exactly how you think. That's how Superman's origin story goes, basically. No mention of Lex Luthor or anything like that because too early, I guess. I don't know. um, and that's basically Man of Steel. course, after this, right after this, is Batman vs Superman, which is the direct follow-up where Batman, who's already existing and already existed and retired and did his old stuff, hears about Superman. Was in Metropolis when he and Zod were fighting. Is like mad at Superman because he thinks that Superman is sort of a massive threat to human race and stuff, to Earth, because of his strength and everything, and he wants to take care of Superman before he could do any more damage. So he comes out of retirement to fight Superman, and um, eventually meets Wonder Woman with her old stuff, and of course, this is instigated, I guess, by Lex Luthor, um, who creates Doomsday. He pretty much wants to do the same thing Superman does, I guess. I'm not sure. Um, and finds Zod's body. He wants to pretty much beat Superman. I guess for the same reason of saving humanity from Superman. If he's a threat or something, I don't really know specifics. But he finds Zod's body, creates Doomsday. Eventually, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman have to team up in order to fight Doomsday because he's going on a complete rampage and stuff, destroying everything. And that's pretty much how the Justice League is formed. Of course, after that, of course, make the Justice League. During this whole thing, Batman or Wonder Woman, one of those two, has a nightmare that Darkseid invades Earth, and Superman controls controls Earth, and eventually Earth is invaded by Darkseid, and terrible things happen. That's either Wonder Woman's or Batman's nightmare. Now, should be fun. Should be cool. Justice League Part 1, I assume, is, in fact, Darkseid's invasion of Earth. I'm not sure how that would go down. I don't know. Maybe it's something else like um, Brainiac. Maybe Brainiac would be Part 2. I don't really know. Of course, after Batman vs Superman is Suicide Squad. Not that much stuff on Suicide Squad has been given. I'll give this the synopsis or premise of it. Is that Amanda Waller collects all these supervillains, bad guys, and creates a team of them to do something for the government, basically, and which involves Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Rick Flag, who is a military officer who controls the Suicide Squad. He's the only one that keeps it in check, I guess. Deadshot, Harley, Captain Boomerang, or just Boomerang for some reason. Katana. I think it's Katana. El Diablo, and Killer Croc, and of course Slipknot. Is it Katana? Am I confusing? Katana. There you go. At some point, and there's of course Joker and Enchantress. That much stuff. Details have been given on that, but apparently from rumors and stuff, Enchantress is sort of the main like threat, I guess. She's doing all the stuff, and the government ordered the squad to eliminate Enchantress because she's doing something bad. I don't really know. And of course, Joker is involved in there somewhere. I have no idea what he's really gonna be doing. He's just gonna be Joker, I guess. It's sort of gonna go like the animated movie Batman Assault on Arkham, which was the Suicide Squad in the Arkhamverse, of course, the uh, Batman Arkham games set in that universe. Um, the basic synopsis of that was that Amanda Waller collected all these supervillains, including Deadshot and Harley Quinn and stuff, to go and get. Well, the actual mission is to go and kill Riddler, who has information. What essentially is like the bad guy from Skyfall. He has information on all the Suicide Squad members or something like that, all people who would be in the Suicide Squad. He knows the people who the government want to be in it, something like that. Um, and he threatens the government, essentially holding that information hostage, so that the government gives him money or something. I don't really know. Um, and he threatens that he will release this information to the public. Don't really know what kind of damage that would do. Unlike Skyfall, where pretty much a bunch of like undercover agents was killed and stuff by terrorist groups and stuff. They were undercover, and because the information was leaked that they were undercover, they were killed and stuff. And of course, many other things happened. So pretty much, Riddler is like the bad guy from Skyfall. He has information on the Suicide Squad, who will be in the Suicide Squad, and everything like that. I don't really know what type of damage that would do and why they are mad at Riddler for that, but and Batman, of course, arrests him, stops the government, the military, from actually getting Riddler. He stops them and arrests Riddler himself, sends him to Arkham. Of course, Amanda collects Harley and Deadshot and Co. in order to invade Arkham, and the mission that they were given, technically, you know, was to get a hard drive in Riddler's cane, because that apparently held all the information that they wanted. The actual thing was to actually kill Riddler, because apparently he's not stupid enough to put it on a easily to find hard drive. And easy to find hard drive, he has it all in his head, and will eventually release it if he ever escapes from Arkham or something. So Amanda Waller tells Killer Frost to kill Riddler, but instead Riddler, in exchange for his life, tells them that they can get out of the Suicide Squad thing, get rid of the chips. If you don't know anything about Suicide Squad, let me just give this quick. Amanda Waller, aka the government, in order to actually get these guys to do what they want, because they're not just gonna do it just because the government told them to. Extra motivation in order to do whatever they tell them to do. They put bombs in their neck in order to, if they don't obey what Amanda says, she'll blow their heads up and kill them. Another thing is that they will get less jail time if they also if they help out. So for that, like people like Deathstroke and stuff, who isn't really bothered by that kind of stuff, having his head exploded. Less jail time, I guess, would be good for him. So that's another thing. So less jail time and bombs in their head, which will explode if they don't obey. So pretty much Riddler said he knows a way to deactivate those bombs, and in exchange for his life, he will deactivate the bombs, which convinces Killer Frost and everybody else in the squad in order to escape and do their own stuff. Of course, he deactivates them, not in everybody. So like King Shark dies and Black Spider die. So the only remaining squad members is Captain Boomerang, Harley, Deadshot, Killer Frost, Captain Boomerang, Killer Frost. I think that's it. And only they remain in the squad who are still alive, and of course they have the bombs not on their necks, so they're pretty much free from Amanda Waller's control, and they're trying to escape from Arkham. Of course, Batman tries to stop them, sort of fails. Killer Frost is apparently killed by Bane, and he throws a police car at somebody else. I don't know who. She is trying to escape in a police car. Bane picks up the police car, throws it at Batman. It explodes, apparently killing her, stuff like that. Captain Boomerang is arrested. Well, not really, but sort of arrested. He's stopped by the GCPD, who's there, uh, trying to control the riot, which was caused by Joker once he was released by Harley during the break-in phase and stuff. He was released by her, well, sort of inadvertently released by her. He causes a riot by releasing all the inmates in Arkham. GCPD is there to try and stop it. Of course, through that's how they're there to stop Captain Boomerang, arrest him. So he's out of picture. All that remains is Deadshot, who's trying to escape by helicopter, by himself, pretty much. Joker and Harley hijacks Deadshot's helicopter. Of course, Deadshot and Joker have a cool fight, which is won by Deadshot, who they crash into a building. It's very. You should go watch the movie. I didn't enjoy it as much as I should have, but it was a pretty good movie. You guys should go watch it. So it's on DVD. So yeah. Helicopter, which has Joker, Deadshot, and Harley. Joker and Deadshot are fighting. They eventually crash into a building, whilst being chased by Batman and the Batwing. And they get split into two places. The helicopter, which had Deadshot and Joker in it, they crash into one floor. At some point, Deadshot and Harley, Batman and Harley are on another floor. I don't really know how they got there either. Deadshot and Joker fight. It's a pretty cool fight. I really enjoyed it. Was rooting for Joker to win. Yeah. Eventually, Deadshot wins by throwing Joker into the helicopter and making it fall down. It explodes. It falls down and explodes. And of course, Batman beats Harley, of course. And that's basically it. Joker somehow survives. I don't know. And at the end of the movie, apparently Deadshot kills Amanda Waller, and that's pretty much the end of that. It will definitely go a bit different, seeing the casts and characters and stuff in the Suicide Squad movie, but that's basically how it will be like. So Amanda gets. Let me get the full people. Amanda collects, I guess, Deadshot, Harley, Captain Boomerang, or just Boomerang. For some reason, it's just Boomerang. El Diablo, and Killer Croc, and of course, Katana. Look, I don't think Katana isn't actually a bad guy. She's not a villain. So I think she just joined through not having anything to do or something. I don't really know. Maybe she works for the government. Or she's just a vigilante that decided to help out with the Suicide Squad. Maybe they got her into the Suicide Squad because apparently she was an anti-hero, something like that. So they arrested her and sent her into the Suicide Squad because that happened to a couple good guys in DC. I can't really remember. I'll just do a quick search here because there are some heroes that are in the Suicide Squad. But I don't really think they're on their own. I don't really know. I'm gonna stop this recording. I'll join back in a couple minutes. So be right back. Alright, I'm back. Okay. So what was I talking about? I was talking about Suicide Squad. What exactly was I talking about in Suicide Squad? Well, it's talking about the cast of characters and stuff. So yes, there have been superheroes like Power Girl and Atom have been in the Suicide Squad as well as Oracle and everybody. So there have been superheroes. So I assume Katana just like had nothing to do, so and just joined up to help with whatever the mission was, or probably if our hunch is correct, and the Enchantress is sort of the main threat of the movie, like the main villainess, I guess, of the movie. Katana probably has some beef with Enchantress, or she just joined the Suicide Squad because she has nothing to do or something. Either way, Katana probably does not have a bomb in her neck, so she's probably one of those. She's yeah, like that. As well as Rick Flag, who's just the leader, I guess. He's the military guy. He's just there to make sure everything is in order. So also he doesn't have a bomb in his neck. So those two. The rumors that were simulating, circulating around was that like two people are gonna die. Like, um, there were there was KG Beast. Yeah, there was KG Beast as well as Deadshot and Harley and everybody in Assault on Arkham. And they sort of Amanda Waller made an example out of him at the beginning because she was like, "You try and disobey me, you try and escape, you try and do anything, I will kill you." And KGB wasn't having any of it, so he just decided to walk out. And as soon as he got out of the door of the room that they were in, his head just exploded, and she made an example out of him. Show everybody what would happen. She's relentless and stuff. So one person that everybody's pretty much saying is gonna be like that is Slipknot, because you barely see him throughout the movie. Um, not sure if. Let me just check if Slipknot is actual villain. Yeah, he's a villain. So they're probably like making an example out of him and kill him early and stuff, just to warn the others of what could happen if they disobey. Um, of course, another thing was that Killer Croc might die as well at the hand of Katana. They're gonna have like a fight or something. Katana's gonna kill him, and then the whole like her sword has his soul and everything, and that's when you see it in the trailer. She's like with her sword in the air, and she's just showing the souls, and that's probably like Killer Croc's soul is in there as well because she just killed him. Um, but assume I assume it's like Enchantress and the Tattooed Man, because that's another person that's like a rumor to be in the movie, because there was a guy that was using like crazy powers and stuff in like a subway terminal or something like that in the movie, in the trailer if you could have saw it. So people are saying that's the Tattooed Man, and I don't really know that much about Tattooed Man, but either like Enchantress and the Tattooed Man like did something bad, like took over a part of a city or something like that, or like just running wild, causing mayhem, something like that. And Amanda Waller assembled the squad to go and pretty much kill both of them or something like that. Um, and at some point, Joker is there. Maybe it was some form of like maybe they're invading Arkham basically, and same thing that happened in Assault on Arkham. Basically, instead of Riddler being the guy they have to kill or something, it's uh, Enchantress. So yeah, um, that's basically how it is. I guess they're going into Arkham, and at some point Harley releases Joker and everything. Of course, there's the flashback to when Harley became Harley. That they will include. I don't really know when they'll include that. Probably when Joker is introduced, or like when they reach Arkham and she meets Joker for the first time and everything, and they do like an assault on Arkham, and then add the thing. Um, but that's basically Suicide Squad. Apparently, there was like a thing that came out. That came out a couple like weeks ago. Someone that said that the director of Suicide Squad or whatever said that it takes place during, well, I think either after. I think they said after the events of Batman vs Superman. Everybody was thinking beforehand that it was taking place before, because technically it just makes sense, right? Batman's not gonna really worry about these guys, but apparently it takes place after uh, Batman vs Superman. So the whole fight with Superman takes place. The fight with Doomsday. Um, all the stuff happens. Um, I don't really know, but yeah, maybe the nightmare sequence in Batman vs Superman. Thing about it is probably at the end of the movie once they defeat Doomsday and everything. Maybe, yeah, like Batman or Wonder Woman or somebody. No, that wouldn't make sense because why would Superman have his Legion and stuff? So maybe it's like at the very beginning of the movie, basically. like like Wonder Woman has it at the very beginning of the movie, like first hour or something, and she starts having it. And she's thinking of if Superman like was this really bad guy and trying to control Earth and stuff, take over Earth. What would happen? Batman would be there and everything. Maybe Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, somehow, some way, like got his plan out there where he was gonna fight Superman and stuff, and Wonder Woman heard about that, and decided to like take matters into his own hands or something. Matters into her own hands. I don't really know. Um, but yeah, that's basically Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad. After that is Wonder Woman. Now, uh, pretty much no details on the movie, like the story element of the movie, has been released yet at all. But the people that are gonna be in it is that, of course, Wonder Woman, being played by Gal Gadot, will be in it. Steve Trevor will be in it. Ida Candy, who is Diana's friend, like best friend, BFF, and then Queen Hippolyta. Now I'm assuming, um, I'm not sure if she'll be the villain or like anything, but maybe I assume it's just the origin story of Wonder Woman. In the trailer, because there was a trailer for it, there was apparently a scene that looked like it took place in World War One or World War Two. I don't. I think it was one of the World Wars, definitely. I think it's World War Two. Let me check real quick. Um, I think it's when she's brought to America or something like that through um, Steve Trevor crash landing on her island during some form of. Okay, let me just get this straight. All right. Maybe this is how it will be, like her origin story and everything. Steve Trevor doing his whole like fighter pli- pilot thing and everything, and he's going over like Europe and stuff. At some point, he gets like I don't know what really happens, some form of fight or something. Goes into crashes into the water or something like that, and drifts all the way to uh, Wonder Woman's homeland, which I can't remember right now. Let me just check real quick. Um, I forget. Themyscira, there we go. Themyscira. Since Wonder Woman's based on Greek and Roman mythology and everything like that. Well, mostly mostly Roman, right? No, mostly Greek mythology and stuff. It's probably around the same area as Greece and stuff. So like in the Mediterranean. So probably he's doing some form of mission somewhere, flying over the Mediterranean, crashes into the somewhere, some maybe just like drifts all over the place, does like a Lost, I guess, and crashes into Themyscira. Of course, essentially does like a Monkey D. Luffy, like just crashes on Amazon Lily. Maybe fights her two sisters. I don't. And that makes me laugh. Fight her two sisters, and then she eventually falls in love with him. Goes to America, and then fights somebody. I'm not sure how all that's gonna happen. Maybe if I. So maybe I don't really know how that's gonna happen. I think it's just gonna be a straight up like World War II movie and everything. So that she's just gonna fight Nazis or something. Help Steve fight Nazis. I don't really know. Maybe. Christ. Maybe if I check. You want to just go. Maybe there's some details and stuff out there. Um, it's definitely like the origin story and everything. So I think what it'll be like is that does she ever encounter? Let me check her rose gallery. Just to, I mean, I'm not really that 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 really well versed in Wonder Woman lore. So let me just check this real quick. Um, let me see if I can get her rose gallery. um, okay. Alright, so there's one Wonder Woman villain, or villainess, called the Baroness Paula von Gunter. Uh, the only reason why I really took this is because she's a Nazi and stuff, so it makes sense. Maybe she's like one of the main people Wonder Woman fights. Apparently, she has Amazon training too, so she could actually fight Wonder Woman. Like actual like fighting. Maybe they could intertwine it with like Wonder Woman's sort of past, I guess, and have her fight Ares as well, or something like that. Not sure. I think it's just gonna be a straight up like World War II thing, and they're gonna include various World War II villains in her rogue gallery. I don't feel like Circe, or like Hades or Medusa, Silver Swan. Who's Silver Swan? mm, yeah, I don't feel like those people will be in there. No Ares either, nothing like that. Um, let me just check. To mask. Just the mask, I guess. Um, maybe it'll be like a flashback of her flashing back to her past and everything, and in the present, she's fighting her own villain. So probably like two different timelines. So like the World War II timeline where she's with Steve Trevor and fighting some villain like some World War II Nazis and stuff like that. And in the present, she's fighting another person, or maybe it's during World War Batman versus Superman. So whilst the whole Batman versus Superman thing is going on, she's thinking about her past and everything. Maybe it'll intertwine with that. I don't know. Um, but yeah, Wonder Woman. After that, we don't know if it's even in the same time at the same like we don't know its situation in terms of time. Like we don't know if it's before or after Batman vs Superman, and then of course Justice League coming out after Wonder Woman. Of course, most people say Dark Side might be in Justice League and everything. Hold up a second. Okay, all right. Okay, so Justice League Part One. Um, most people are saying that it is Dark Side that's invading Earth. Now, of course, um, we don't know when this is going to be taking place in the timeline. Um, it could be many years after Batman vs Superman, because the name of it is Justice League. Now, either in this movie, it's sort of the formation of the Justice League, like the actual formation of it. So, of course, Batman and Superman, they're doing their whole thing, and then they join up with all the other people that have been confirmed, have been confirmed for this game, for the movie. So, like, Cyborg, Flash, Green Lantern, and Shazam and Aquaman. So, like, they team up with all these guys and have to fight like a new threat. Not sure what the threat is actually gonna be. Rumor has it it's gonna be Darkseid. I don't think they should introduce Darkseid so soon. And if they do, like maybe, maybe it could be somebody else. Like maybe some form of super villain team, like a team up like Lex Luthor, Joker, um, Ares, maybe. I don't think Sinestro will be it. Somebody like make it a now. Don't make it like this one big guy like Darkseid and Brainiac. Save that like one of those two for part two. Because to be honest, like first off, that'd be way too much like Marvel. Secondly, I just feel like those two should just be held off until like later, like as a final sort of enemy to combat. That's the real reason why the Justice League have to team up. Um, but I'm not really sure who else. Um, let me just read this here. Um, okay, so maybe it's like another guy that Lex has made or something like that. Like say maybe Doomsday survives his fight with Superman and Batman and everything, and he evolves and stuff and becomes super strong. Maybe Lex maybe even makes like Metallo. Of course he himself becomes Lex. Um, uh, maybe he himself becomes Lex. Make what was that one guy? That like Solar Man or something from the old Superman movies with you know I forgot his name. Uh, there's the old Superman movies with Christopher Reeve and stuff. Um, who was the bad? Like no, I think it was the third one. Yeah, it was the third one. Let me check. Um, Ross Webster. Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't this one. Yeah, it wasn't this one. Um, mm, 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 it wasn't one of these movies. I can't remember. It was Superman 4. I think it was Superman 4. Yeah, it was Superman 4. It was, hold up a second. Nuclear Man. There we go. Like probably makes a nuclear man. Um, I don't really know that many people. It's like maybe Doomsday is just getting stronger and stronger to the point where not even Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman can handle him. So they have to assemble all these different superheroes and stuff from all over the place. from all over the place trying to fight Doomsday and stuff, and of course Lex Luthor is in the background doing his thing. Um, Either that or like say the dark side thing happens, and then part two is Brainiac, or maybe it's actually just the entire thing is just fighting Darkseid. Like they only fight Darkseid for the entire like two movies and stuff. But the first one is sort of the build up, him invading Earth, him doing his thing, and they assembling, and then have one like massive battle to start off everything. And part two is sort of like it's like say the Clone Wars zone, and then part two, they're sort of at the climax of the war and stuff, and at the end they end up fighting Darkseid. Um, sure, that'd be cool, but I feel like we need more people. We need other people in order to really give a threat and stuff. Well, not to really give a threat, but like Darkseid for two movies and stuff. And plus, who would be the main villain of part one? Because like Darkseid will be the main villain, but he won't exactly meet his demise and stuff. Like they obviously won't have him and Superman and everybody fight. So maybe it is like say, I don't really know, but part one happens, and then I assume all the movies after that, so like Flash, um, Aquaman, Shazam, happen, and they're sort of like build like what they did before they joined the Justice League. So like say, um, there's not really another thing that sort of I could base this on. So let's just say like Justice League happens and they assemble and then fight. Flash, Aquaman, and Shazam are sort of like the origin story, and saying who they fought and everything like that, and what happens to them before they even join the Justice League. And of course, Justice League Part 2 comes out, and then a Cyborg comes out. And I'm not sure how they're going to handle Cyborg. Maybe they'll do the same thing, and like Cyborg joins in Part 2, and then he has his own movie after that to give his backstory, and of course, Green Lantern Corps in 2020. Now, I'm not sure how everything's going to play out, but I assume that's how it probably go. In terms of villains who might appear in the Flash and Co. In the Flash, I think if they're going out the same thing as the actual show, like they're actually doing it like the show. Um, Actually, no, because I just read this on here. I read it on Wikipedia that apparently Justice League Part 1 is before The Flash, so that really puts a not. I don't really know. Hmm. um, I think it's Ezra Miller, like the TV show Flash, will be this Flash, but I'm not sure how. Like with all that, who would be the villains in both of the movies? Like, why would they even call it Justice League Part 1 and 2? Like, if they're not sort of the same villain, the same time and everything, there's a slight push, like time skip basically in between the two. Hmm. I really don't. I don't get that. I think my hunch is correct, and it's just Doomsday getting strong and everything, and eventually they start fighting Lex Luthor and stuff. But I don't feel like they'll need the entire Justice League in order to just combat Doomsday. But maybe it's like Doomsday, and then Lex Luthor has his own thing, and he creates an army of Lex bots and stuff to combat them and help Doomsday. And Doomsday eventually goes out of control and just attacks both sides, and just they have to team up and stuff and blah blah blah. And then of course Doomsday ends up dying at the end, and Lex Luthor is in jail. And then they have their movies, so Flash, um, Shazam and Aquaman have their movies. And villains that will appear in the Flash, as I said before, probably. I don't know why I want to say Captain Cold. It's like, yeah, well, have an entire movie set around this guy freezing up Coast City. Well, not Coast City, Central City, wherever the Flash is set. Well, the TV show Flash is set. No, the movie show Flash is set. I don't know. um, okay, let me just open up the Rogues Gallery for the Flash now. Mirror Master is one other person that could pop up. Hmm. Okay. So, Captain Cold is one. Maybe even Captain Boomerang. Like, that's how he ended up in jail in order for him to join the Suicide Squad. That'd be a cool way to set that up. So that would mean like Suicide Squad's after the Flash. That'd be cool. Heat Wave is another person. Maybe they could have like, maybe it's just gonna be not Reverse Flash, Zoom from the actual show. Maybe he has something to do in that. I'm not sure. Maybe Mirror Master is one that should be in there. I don't know if Mirror Master is actually in the show. Let me check. Television. Yeah, he was okay. He was in the show. Um, maybe it would be Zoom. Actually, no, it's the wrong show. No, I have no idea. Maybe he will be like the main bad guy in the movie. In the movie and stuff. I think it will be Mirror Master. In fact, Aquaman, of course, has just got to be Black Manta. Like, when you think Aquaman, you think Black Manta, man. Like, there's nobody else. Like, why would you cast anybody else? Why would you have anybody else be the villain? I mean, it's Black Manta, man. Maybe they can have the whole Aqualad thing, where it's the Black Aqualad from Young Justice. My favorite Aqualad, to be honest. So obviously, gotta be Black Manta in Aquaman. Like, no way. Of course, I'm not sure if they said it will be after. Let me check. Justice League Part 1. Pen 2 separate scripts. Meaning that 2 scripts will be written. A better version moving forward. It's actually set after Justice League Part 1, like Flash. So maybe it'll be Black. Of course, it has to be Black Manta. It has to be. I mean, who else? Who else would you put there? I mean, come on. So Aquaman's like technically his first movie, well, main movie. That's not animated, so just makes sense, right? To have his main villain be like the first one in his to meet the first villain to be introduced in his first movie. Of course, then after that it's Shazam. Of course, we know Black Cat is gonna be the bad guy in Shazam, obviously. Obviously, guys, it's just makes sense, right? Let me just check, make sure. Yeah, The Rock is gonna be Black Adam and everything. So Black Adam is gonna be the main guy in Shazam as well. I think it's just gonna be like essentially like Marvel and stuff, and they're gonna just fight like a villain between the two like team ups and stuff. Of course, there's gonna be the Batman single movies as well. So yeah, Green Lantern Corps gotta be like either Sinestro or Atrocitus. I feel like those two would be cool. It would be the first choice. Maybe even Agent Orange. I forgot his. I think it's Larfleece, the orange ring holder, whose his thing is being greedy. It was greed. Maybe even him. I don't know. I think that'd be cool too. Of course, they could team up with the Blue Lanterns too. Maybe I don't know the Indigo tribe, everything like that. Cyborg. Cyborg is. Maybe they come up with a villain for Cyborg. I don't know. The Cyborg is mainly like a Teen Titans guy, you know. So and it's obviously not a Teen Titans movie. It's a Cyborg movie. So comic fine, real quick. I'm not really sure who Cyborg's villain be. Maybe it could be like the Hive or whatever they were called in Teen Titans. That like organization or whatever that I can't remember. I can't really that Brother Blood was controlling. Maybe they'll have that. At some, I think they did say there was a Teen Titans show in development. Now, I'm not sure if they actually went to fruition and they're actually gonna finish it. Let me just check. Yeah, they scrapped it. Okay, there's no more live action Teen Titans show. So yeah, but I think maybe like it's gonna be Brother Blood and everything. Um, let me check. Let me check. Too bad they scrapped that. It would have been a wonderful way. Brother Blood. I think he's actually an Arrow, so. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, he's actually dead in Arrow, so maybe not Brother Blood. I don't really know. Maybe Ravager. Mm. Can be Deathstroke. Uh, can be Trigon. If they were to make a Raven movie, Trigon would obviously be that. But it's a cyborg movie, not a Teen Titans movie. So I mean, who could he possibly fight? I mean, I don't know why I want to say Metallo just because it's another cyborg. Um, I think maybe at some point he forms the Teen Titans and stuff. Maybe he's part of the Teen Titans and he's fighting them. I'm not sure how that could go. We'll just see when we get there, but that's just my basic thoughts over everything. Of course, there's going to be these solo Batman movies after that. Of course, one solo Batman movie that we all want to see is what up? There was actually supposed. I think there's supposed to be a Justice League Dark movie too. Maybe I'm not sure. But yeah, there's gonna be the two solo Batman movies that Ben Affleck is gonna be directing. Of course, the one that we all want, and I'm pretty sure they probably might do. They probably might do. Yeah. Certainty there, man. That's a certainty. Is the Red Hood storyline. So Batman under Red Hood storyline. Pretty much a live action version of Batman under Red Hood. I think that's what they might do and stuff. Because in Batman vs Superman, that was the whole dead Robin thing. Like at some point, they were talking. I think it was Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson died and stuff. I think they will keep the Jason Todd death and everything. And he comes back, like maybe yeah. After Batman Returns, he comes back because and tries to get revenge on Batman and Joker and stuff. Like maybe it's before Suicide Squad. Like that's how Joker ends up in Arkham Asylum in order for him to break out again in Suicide Squad. Maybe he just breaks out in Suicide Squad. Who knows? Um, it's after Suicide Squad and he's broken out and everything is doing his own thing, and Batman. I don't know work with it. Because technically he does escape at some point. He has to be in Arkham Asylum and then breaks out. And, I don't really know, but I think they're doing like an Under the Red Hood sort of storyline. Of course, the second storyline, I'm not sure where they could go with it. um, of course, Commissioner Gordon's actually gonna be in Batman vs Superman. Apparent for some reason, that's weird. Hmm, 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 hmm. Ben Affleck is gonna be in 5 movies, and Cavill in 4. What, 5? Yeah, 5. And Cavill and Gal Gadot and Free. Um, this is General Swanson. Okay, so. Hmm. I don't really know what they could do for a your Batman movie. I mean, it could go anywhere basically. I'm currently thinking. I mean, this is my thinking. Whilst I'm thinking, let me just talk about that. Other things. There's also gonna be the Man of Steel sequel, and yeah, the sequel sometime between 2016 and 2020. So we will expect that. Who will be the villain in that? Probably Metallo or um, I don't really know because they already had Zod. Doomsday is gonna be Batman vs Superman. Um, I don't know. I don't think they're doing a Hawkman movie again, but I think they might do it, or maybe they might just like make appearances and stuff. He might make an appearance in that. Um, maybe even Lobo. I don't know why. Apparently, somebody want to make a Swamp Thing movie. Another thing is they might make a Justice League Dark movie. I think that be yeah they're actually making one. Um, not sure when it's gonna actually be released. And they might also make a Green Arrow movie too. So yeah. Man of Steel 2 I think will just be Lex Luthor and Batman fight. Lex Luthor and Superman fighting. But yeah. Still thinking who could be Like, maybe they could pull off like another Ra's al Ghul League of Assassins thing, but maybe people think that that'd be a done to death. I don't know. Like I don't think. Like, I mean, other than Joker, which to be honest, I don't think they'll do that multiple movies. I think they would want to do like another person in another movie. Um, I don't think like Two Face or Penguin or anything like that would be that important. I think and they're even done. So, I mean, who could be? Hmm. Deathstroke is one thing, but to me, that's like Deathstroke on his own. I don't think would be a good villain. Yes. Black Mask, I think. The Black Mask would be in the Under the Red Hood thing. Christ. Well, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, that's it for this movie. I'll be talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the next one. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me who you think how you think most of the stories and everything will go down in the DC Cinematic Universe. I sort of gave my ideas. At some point, I might like next time in the Marvel thing, I might just do a quick recap on this and give my new ideas that I might think of at that point in that one. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed. As I said, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. See ya in the next video.